Hey guys, so for the first skill that you are practicing today, you're going to be multiplying decimals by powers of 10. What I want to show you before we actually get started with decimal numbers is that you already are using this skill when multiplying regular numbers by 10. And let me show you how. You know that 5 times 10 is equal to 50 because we know that we just add a 0 on the end. What you've been calling adding a 0 this whole time has actually been you taking the decimal and moving it one digit to the right, or increasing the place value of the 5 by 10. What do I mean? Well, 5 is equal to 5.0. And when you multiplied it by 10, you took this decimal and moved it over one spot. So then you end up with 50, or 50.0. Now let's say you have 5 times 100. Now, as you know, that means you would just add 2 zeros because there's 2 zeros in 100. Now again, 5 is equal to 5.0. That's the same thing. And when you multiply by the decimal, you go 1, 2. So when you're multiplying by 100, you're actually moving the decimal over 2 spots. And so there's an added 0 here, which is how you end up with this answer, 500. So let's say we had a completely different number, like 68, for example. And we said we wanted to do 68 times 10. Well, we could say, okay, I just have to add a 0. Or, because I know better, I know that 68.0 just means I'm moving the decimal over one spot. So the key thing to remember here is that the number of zeros that are in the power of 10 is how many spots to the right you move over with multiplying. And of course, when you're dividing, you move to the left the same exact way. So let's take a look at some of these example problems. We have 100 times 5.89. Since I have 2 zeros here, I know that I'm going to move my decimal over 2 spots. So that means I'm going to end up with 589.0, which is just equal to 589. Let's take a look at the next one. 11.46 times 10. Okay, well 10 only has 1 0, so I'm only moving the decimal over one spot. That means that my answer is going to be 114.6. Every digit just increased its place value by 10. Last but not least, here we have 0.632 times 100. Now I see that there's 2 zeros, so I'm going to move the decimal 2 spots. So now I have 63.2. This is the pattern that you follow whenever you're multiplying by a power of 10. The decimal just moves over the number of zeros that are in the power of 10. So for 100, you move 2 spots. 1,000, you move 3 spots. 10,000, 4 spots, so on and so forth. Hope this helps. Text me if you have questions.